Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. परिभंसक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की, इसकान फाउंडर आचार्य शिला प्रभुपाद की, नाम आचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome to this morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting the verse from Canto 4, Chapter 8. Dhruva Maharaj leaves home, and the text number 54. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So text 54. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya Kuryadravyamayi Buddha Saparyam Vividai Dravyar Deshakala Vibhagavet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya Kuryadravyamayim Buddha Saparyam Vividai Dravyar Deshakala Vibhagavet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya Kuryadravyamayim Buddha Saparyam Vividai Dravyar Deshakala Vibhagavet. Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya Suryadravya Saparyam Vividai Dravyar Deshakala Vibhagavet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya Kuryadravyamayim Buddha Saparyam Vividai Dravyar Deshakala Vibhagavet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya Kuryadravyamayim Buddha Saparyam vividai dravyar Deshakala vibhagavet. Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrena nena devasya Kurya dravyamahim Buddha Saparyam vividai dravyar Deshakala vibhagavet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrena nena devasya Kurya dravyamahim Buddha Saparyam vividai dravyar Deshakala vibhagavet. What to what meaning? Om, O my Lord, Namaha. I offer my respectable obeisances. Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudevaya, unto the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. Mantrena, by this hymn or mantra. Anena, this devasya, of the Lord. Kuryat, one should do. Dravyamayim, physical. Buddha, one who is learned. Saparyam, worship by the prescribed method. Vividha, with a varieties. Dravya, paraphernalia. Desha, according to country. Kala, time. Vibhagavit, one who knows the divisions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation, please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the 12-syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. One should install the physical form of the Lord, and with the chanting of the mantra, one should offer flowers and fruits and other varieties of foodstuffs exactly according to the rules and regulations prescribed by authorities. But this should be done in consideration of place, time, and attendant, convenience and inconveniences. Purport. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva is known as the Dwadashakshara mantra. This mantra is chanted by Vaishnava devotees and it begins with the Pranava, Omkara. There is an injunction that those who are not Brahmanas cannot pronounce the Pranava mantra. But Dhruva Maharaj was born a Kshatriya. He at once admitted before Narada Muni that as a Kshatriya, he was unable to accept Narada's instructions of renunciation and mental equilibrium, which are the concern of Brahmana. Still, although not a Brahmana but a Kshatriya, Dhruva was allowed on the authority of Narada to pronounce the Pranava mantra. This is very significant, especially in India. The caste Brahmanas object greatly when persons from other castes who are not born in the Brahmana families recite this Pranava mantra. But here is tacit proof that if a person accepts the Vaishnava mantra or Vaishnava way of worshipping the deity, he is allowed to chant the Pranava mantra. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord personally accept that anyone, even one of a low species, can be elevated to the highest position and go back to Godhead simply if he worships properly. The prescribed rules as stated here by Narada Muni are that one should accept the mantra through a bona fide spiritual master and hear the mantra in the right ear. And not only should one chant or murmur the mantra, but in front of him he must have the deity or physical form of the Lord. Of course, when the Lord appears, it is no longer a physical form. For example, when an iron rod is made red hot in fire, it is no longer iron, it is fire. Similarly, when we make a form of the Lord, whether the wood or stone or metal, jewel or paint or even a form of within the mind, it is bona fide, spiritual transcendental form of the Lord. Not only must one receive the mantra from the bona fide spiritual master like Narada Muni or his representative in disciplic succession, but one must chant the mantra. And not only one must chant, but he should also offer whatever foodstuff is available in his part of the world according to the time and convenience. The method of worship, chanting mantra and preparing the forms of Lord is not stereotyped, nor is it exactly the same everywhere. It is specifically mentioned in this verse that one should take consideration of the time, place, and available conveniences. Our Krishna conscious movement is going on through the entire world, and we also install deities in different centers. Sometimes our Indian friends, puffed up with concocted notions, criticize this has not been done, that has not been done, but they forget this instruction of Narada Muni to one of the great Vaishnavas, Dhruva Maharaj. One has to consider the particular time, country, and conveniences. What is convenient in India may not be convenient in Western countries. Those who are not actually in the line of acharyas or who personally have no knowledge of how to act in this role of acharya unnecessarily criticize the activities of ISKCON movement in countries outside of India. The fact is that such critics cannot do anything personally to spread Krishna consciousness. If someone does go and preach, taking all risks and throwing all considerations for time and place, it might be that there are changes in the manner of worship, but that is not at all the faulty according to the Shastra. Srimad Veera Raghava Acharya, an Acharya in the disciplic succession of the Ramanuja Sampradaya, has remarked in this commentary that Chandalas or conditioned souls who are born in lower and Sudra families can also be initiated according to circumstances. The formalities may be slightly changed here and there to make them Vaishnava. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that his name should be heard in every nook and corner of the world. How is this possible unless one preaches everywhere? The cult of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavata Dharma, and he especially recommends Krishna Katha or cult of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. He recommends that every Indian considering this task to be para upakara or welfare activity take the Lord's message to other residents of the world. Other residents of the world does not refer only to those who are exactly like the Indian Brahmanas or Kshatriyas or like the caste Brahmanas who claim to be Brahmanas because they were born in the families of Brahmana. The principle that only Indians and Hindus should be brought into the Vaishnava cult is a mistaken idea. There should be propaganda to bring everyone to the Vaishnava cult. The Krishna conscious movement is meant for this purpose. There is no bar to propagating the Krishna conscious movement even among people who are born in Chandala, Melcha or Yavana families. Even in India, this point has been enunciated by Srila Sanatana Goswami in the Haribhakti Vilasa, which is a smriti and is the authorized Vedic guide for Vaishnavas in their daily behavior. Sanatana Goswami says, as bell metal can turn to gold when mixed with mercury in a chemical process, so by the bona fide diksha or initiation method, anyone can become Vaishnava. One should take initiation from bona fide spiritual master coming in the disciplic succession, who is authorized by the predecessor spiritual master. This is called Diksha Vidhana. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, Vyapasritaya, one should accept the spiritual master. By this process, the entire world can be converted to Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So very long purport. There are many interesting points Prabhupada highlighted in this purport. So we'll try to see some of the key points, and in the given time we'll try to cover as many as possible. So the discussion between Narada Muni and Dhruva Maharaj is continuing. Right? So if you see the previous from last few verses, what Narada Muni is preaching to Dhruva Maharaj, like Narada Muni is a great devotee of the Lord, and his job is to make everyone devotee. Wherever he goes, he converts them into devotee. So in the same line, he met Dhruva Maharaj, and Dhruva Maharaj also he started giving in instructions. If you see in the previous instruction, so what he was saying in the previous verses, he was asking Dhruva Maharaj to meditate on Lord's form. So he was giving beautiful description of the Lord, and he was asking Dhruva Maharaj to meditate on the form of the Lord. So meditate of the form of the Lord, form, pastimes, glories, everything, meditating on in our mind. So this is as good as one of the bhakti limb. It's a smaranam, remembering of the Lord. And in the last verse, it was mentioning chanting the mantra. And in this verse, it was giving the mantra. So chanting the mantra. When you talk about mantras, there are different mantras our Vedic scriptures are providing, like Panchakshari mantra. This is mainly the Lord Shiva followers will recite Om Namah Shivaya, right? Then in Ramanuja pastimes we see Astakshari mantra, where it is Om Namo Narayana, right? So similarly in this verse, in the verse it was meant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is Dwadashakshari mantra, 12 syllables. So and then we know, right, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that is Shodashakshari, the 16 syllables, right? So that way there are various mantras, scriptures are recommended, providing, and the different mantras, and each mantra brings into the different level. It's not all are same, but each mantra will bring you to the different level. So when we chant those mantras, our consciousness will be purified, then we will make progress in our spiritual life. So these are the various mantras. Same way in this verse, today's verse, Dhruva Maharaj receiving the mantra like Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then in this verse also it was mentioned. So we saw the Smaranam, one instruction he gave, and chanting the holy name, that is also Narada Muni is giving. And not only that, in this verse it was also mentioned Archa Vigraha. We are worshipping the deity of the Lord by offering various foodstuffs, right? So these are the various bhakti limbs he was instructing, Narada Muni is instructing to Dhruva Maharaj. So one more important point in this purport Prabhupada was mentioning, right? So Pranava mantra, like Omkara, we should not everybody can recite, only Brahmanas can recite this mantra. Like if you see in our Bhagavad Gita, right, Krishna is saying, I am the Omkara, right? Om. Krishna was there, is an impersonal form of Krishna. That's what Bhagavad Gita, and it was mentioned proper. So it was mentioned that Brahmanas cannot chant this mantra. Only Brahmanas can chant mantras, not other people. if you see the Dhruva Maharaj case, Dhruva Maharaj already admitted that his nature is Kshatriya nature, and he is born Kshatriya, and he was not able to accept any Brahmanical qualities. He clearly mentioned. Now, so in relation to that, he cannot chant this mantra, Omkara. Any mantra which starts with Omkara, he should not start unless he is a Brahmana. So what he was saying is, so we cannot chant this mantra. Then, but how? But still, Narada Muni is giving this mantra. So as per our Vedic process, if Kshatriya has to chant the Vedas, if he has to recite Vedas, he has to get the Upanayana Samskara at the age of 11. Same way, if the Brahmana has to chant, he has to take the Upanayana Samskara, he has to undergo the Upanayana Samskara at the age of 8, not before that. So if you see the Prahlad Maharaj case, Dhruva Maharaj case, in this Dhruva Maharaj is only 5 years old, not 11. So in this case, he was not allowed to chant the mantra of the Omkara, but still Narada Muni is giving. So this is our Vaidhi Marga, Vaidhi process. As per Vedas, this is the process where if you have to chant the Omkara mantra, you have to undergo this Upanayana Samskara. Again, this is based on your Varnas. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, it was mentioned, Chatur Varna Maya Srishta Guna Karma Vibhaga. Based on Guna and Karma, various Varnas have been created. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. This Brahmana, Vaishya and Kshatriya people has to undergo this Upanayana Samskara, and then only they are eligible to recite the mantra. So when they are reciting these mantras, then they will be able to progress in a spiritual path. So this is, but in the but our acharyas explaining that any Vaishnava mantra, even though if it is not starting with Omkara, any Vaishnava mantra, we don't need to follow this Upanayana Samskara. It is, we can, by taking the shelter of the bona fide Acharya, we can take the shelter of the Guru or the Acharya, and then we can chant the mantra. And so when we do the Upanayana Samskara, right? So when we do follow this as per the Vedic scriptures, it's kind of a ritualistic process. We have to follow all the rituals, right? We need so many items to perform these rituals, and we need also purity of the people who are performing these rituals, right? So in the Kali Yuga, we don't have those process. We don't have the proper people who can do the mantra, proper recite the mantras, and who can do and the purity of the ingredients also not there. So when we follow this Upanayana Samskaras, all that as per the Vedas, what will happen? So we will not get the required, though as a ritual we complete that process, but when we do that, we will not be able to get though we will chant the mantra, but ultimate benefit, what is the purpose of getting this Upanayana Samskara? To chant the mantra. But when we don't do this samskara properly, because we are not in the Kali Yuga, it's not pure, everything is impure. So we will not get the ultimate benefit of this Upanayana Samskara. And then what will happen? Though we chant this mantra by following this samskara, we will not be able to progress in our bhakti. So this is the Vaidhi Marg is there, Vaidhi Bhakti, this Vedic process is there to chant the Omkara mantra, Vaishnava mantra, but that is not suitable in the age of Kali. So in this current purport also Prabhupada was mentioning that other process is taking the shelter of senior Vaishnava and performing under his guidance. He has to chant this, take the mantra and follow the process. So in this second, the process, this is called, this process where taking the Vaishnava's help, shelter and following his instructions and taking the mantra from him is called Diksha. This is as per the Pancharatra Vidhi. So this is the Marga, this is Vidhi, this process is suitable in the current process. And even if you see our ISKCON, our Krishna conscious movement also established one of the limbs, one of the pillar of this is like a Diksha process is one of the aspect in our process only. So when we take the senior Vaishnava process in this instructions from senior Vaishnava Guru and to get the mantra, by taking the mantra, when we follow, when we chant this mantra like the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and in the case or we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that way it will start purify our consciousness. So the main thing is taking the shelter of the senior Vaishnava is important. And the same thing is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita as well, in the verses. Like in the 9th chapter it is mentioned, 932. O son of Pruta, those who take shelter of me, though they are low birth, women, Vaishya and Shudras can attain supreme destination. So, but in the case of the previous process, like Upanayana Samskara, that is allowed only for 3 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya. But this via Pancharatrika Vidhi, where taking the Diksha, it is allowed for all other people, like it is mentioned, women and Loka, low-born people and Shudras, everybody, they can take the process, this process and get they can progress in the life. Not only that, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 4th chapter, 18th verse also it is mentioning, Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulindra, Pulaksha, Abhira, Samba, Yavana, members of Kasa, races and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of devotees of the Lord, due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisance unto him. So this is what mentioned. So various, those who are lower than Shudras, the different people from the different sects, different caste, they can also, just by following the Guru, instructions, by taking the Diksha from Guru, they can progress in the Bhakti path. This is what he was mentioning, the purport. So the main thing is taking the shelter of Guru. And not only that, the first one we saw the Vaidhi Marg, where Upanayana Samskar, second one is Diksha, where Pancharatrika Vidhi. And the third one also, there is one more. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made even more simple, right? Chanting the Krishna's name and listening the Krishna Katha, that is also another process. By doing this also, we can progress in our spiritual path. But in the current conditioned age, the processes, all the processes are very perfect. But we are not perfect. We are very much conditioned. So only taking the support of Bhakti, like Bhakti Vidhi, like by chanting the holy name and by listening the Krishna Katha, we are not very competent enough to take that process fully and progress. So our Krishna movement is providing 2 things. One is Diksha Marg and other Pancharatrika Vidhi, and this one is Bhakti Marg. So by combining these 2, Prabhupada made all the entire process, and where we can smoothly progress in our bhakti. So when we see based on, if you see the Diksha Marg when we discuss about the Diksha process and how the Guru relation and various things we can discuss further. So if you see the Dhruva Maharaj, he clearly mentioned that he is not a qualified person to take he's not a Brahmanical, he doesn't want to accept the Brahmanical things which Narada Muni instructed, because he himself claimed he was not he's a passionate, he's a Kshatriya, he doesn't have all the qualities. But still, Narada Muni gave these instructions. So what was the reason why he was able to give those instructions? Because of the honest sincerity of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was very much determined to progress in to get the Lord's darshan, and he wanted to fulfill his desire, getting the kingdom bigger than his great grandfather. So he was very much determined, and he wanted to take the darshan of Vishnu and get his desire fulfilled. So, but in that case, he was very honest. He was not telling any lies to fulfill his desire, right? So that honest and the sincerity, Narada Muni got attracted. Because of that, he was able to, even though he is not qualified, he was able to give this mantra. This is the process, the advantage in this Pancharatrika Diksha Marg. Even though we are not qualified, our consciousness is not purified, still the powerful spiritual master can give the mantra. Through that, when we follow, and we will be able to purify. Not only that, even in case of Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, he saw that he made so many people into great devotees. And those devotees were telling, Prabhupada, we don't have any qualification to become a pure Vaishnava. But Prabhupada was telling, I created your piety, right? That's what the Prabhupada was telling. That is the potency of Guru. And even we can see many stories in like Valmiki, not Valmiki, Mrugari story in Narada Muni. So Mrugari was killing so many animals. How he was killing? He was killing the animals half dead. So when he will kill the animal off, if it's still lying on the floor and it will be having so much pain, but he will he will half kill and he will go away from there. So when Narada Muni saw that and he saw that all the animals were half killed, and he inquired with Mrugari, why are you doing like this? Then he said, from the childhood I learned this is the way to kill the animals. Then he explained, Narada Muni explained, this is not the way. When you do this, when these animals are suffering, you will get the sinful reaction. You have to face, you will get, or your sins will be accumulated. So you will have again, you have to take another birth to clear these all the sinful actions. So Narada Muni told, and when he heard Narada Muni this word that okay, he has to suffer all the sinful reactions, then he was asking, what is the way? Then he said, first thing, you kill all the animals fully, properly, don't kill half animal. And then later he wanted, when Mrugari was asking how to get cleared all the sinful reactions, then he gave the Mahamantra. So after Mahamantra he started, and he was very purified, and he stopped killing all the animals. So throughout the village, people were talking about, okay, this hunter changed himself as a saint, and he is chanting a mantra. And when Narada Muni was giving the instruction to this Mrugari, and one thing he told, this Mrugari was asking, if I stop my hunting job, how will I get my food? Then Narada Muni told, I will take care of that, don't worry. So then when he started doing the chanting the Hare Mahamantra, and then all the villagers came, oh, this became very saintly person. They started giving all the different food stuff. So the various things they are offering. So that way his necessities were, daily necessities, food and everything were taken care. So this is the potency of Guru. Though we are not qualified, by taking the shelter of Guru, by taking the Diksha from Guru, we will be getting the required mercy, and to which we will be able to progress in the path. And sometimes people will think that, okay, so when you are taking the Guru, you may think that, okay, I will listen lectures of a Guru, and I will recordings like various kirtans and everything. He's my Guru. But that is one way that is correct. Okay, you are getting attracted towards Guru, but that is not all. That is not the only thing. What is the required thing? So if I see that I know this so and so person, okay, I saw Srila Prabhupada, I heard Srila Prabhupada lectures and everything. But that is one aspect, that is correct. But is Srila Prabhupada, has he accepted you as a disciple? Or if any other Vaishnava, if you say, okay, I know this Maharaj, I know this, I regularly hear this Maharaj lectures and Maharaj kirtans, everything. But has Maharaj accepted you as disciple? So being accepted by Guru is another important aspect, right? So we need to be not only our desire that, okay, I want this as a Guru, but the Guru also should accept you as a disciple, right? In Chaitanya Charitamrita we know it, Brahmande Brahmite Kure Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadaka Bhakti Lata Bij, right? So only by Krishna's mercy, Krishna will arrange Guru. So first thing, we may get inspired by a particular Guru, but Guru also should accept you as a disciple. That is also one of the important points. And once Guru is accepting you as a disciple, when he gives this mantra, what will happen? Then you start chanting the mantra, your purification begins from there. So though initially you are not purified, so this is the process more simplified rather than going to the different samskaras to getting purified. So, and another important thing is, spiritual master is having the responsibility. Once you take the shelter of the spiritual master, once you surrender to him, what will happen? Spiritual master will take all your responsibility. His responsibility to take all your sinful reactions. So, which means once you surrender to Guru, he is taking all your sinful reactions on behalf of Krishna. And it means you should not commit any more sinful reactions. That is Guru is expecting. Once you follow that process, then he will take all your sinful reactions. We can see in the pastime of Jagai Madai pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Chaitanya Jagai Madai were, like all the process, the pastime completely happened, and they surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya, when they surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they realized that they did the mistake, by offending Nityanand Prabhu. So they were then when they surrendered, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also pleased with their realization. Then we did like the black mark came on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. So this is where it shows that Guru is taking as a Guru, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took all their sinful reactions of Jagai Madai. So Guru's responsibility, this is the Guru's responsibility. So we have to be, once you take the shelter of Guru, once you surrender to Guru, you should not commit any further offenses. That is Guru's responsibility is to taking your sins, and your responsibility to follow Guru's instructions. That's why all the 4 regulative principles, everything laid down, so that you will not commit any offense or sinful reactions, activities. And if you see the even Sri Ramanujacharya past time also, if you see, Guru is also very, like, he is ready to take all your sinful reactions. He is so merciful. We can understand his nature. Like in Ramanujacharya, he got the Ashtakshari mantra from Goshtipurna, one of the Vaishnava guru, his guru. He went there. First, initially, he served that Goshtipurna for a long time. And then, after some time, after seeing his sincerity, Ramanujacharya got this Ashtakshari mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. When he was giving that mantra, he told that this is very pure and sacred mantra. Only not everybody can get this mantra. So if to chant this mantra, you should be very pure and you should not commit any offenses. This is what the Ramanujacharya, that Goshtipurna told Ramanujacharya. And when Ramanujacharya started he took that mantra, he was feeling very ecstatic by taking the transcendental mantra. He was feeling very ecstatic. But on the way back going home, he started realizing, the Goshtipurna told, okay, this mantra is very pure and sacred, and no one is eligible to chant this mantra. Because if you are contaminated or you are having sinful actions you have done, you are not eligible. Once you get purified, then only you can chant mantra. Then Guru also told one more thing. If you chant this mantra, tell this mantra to who is not qualified, who is not eligible, then you will get the sinful reaction. So all these things he was remembering all the Guru's instructions, and he was thinking that, okay, there are so many fallen conditioned souls. By chanting this mantra, if they chant this mantra, they will all get liberated. They will go back to Godhead. Even if I suffer sinful actions, that is fine. Then he thought, okay, on the way back he saw one Vishnu temple. He went on top of the temple and he said, okay, I have got a very nice gift today, very nice jewel. Please come, please come. Then everyone assembled in front of the temple. And then he started telling that this mantra. He started reciting this mantra. So everybody started reciting the mantra multiple times. Then everybody feeling ecstatic. They were very happy. Then Ramanujacharya got down from the temple top of the temple, and then the Goshtipurna, the Guru, got to know that this is what happened. Then he was very angry. Then when Ramanujacharya went, then Guru was very angry. Then finally Ramanujacharya told that this is my intention. Even I am happy to suffer, but these many people getting purified and they are going back to Godhead. So this is how the potency of Guru. Guru always thinks this way. Even he is ready to take all our sinful reactions. Right? So though we are not qualified, first of all, we are not qualified to get this Diksha. But still Guru is merciful, is giving. On top of that, he is ready to take all our sinful reactions. So it is our responsibility that we should strictly follow the Guru's instructions. And when we are taking the instruction, when Diksha from Guru, another important, like I discussed, briefly touched, the Dhruv Maharaj is not very qualified, but still Guru is very sincere. Guru, unlike the sincerity of Dhruv Maharaj, even we saw Srila Prabhupada also, he gave to so many hippies and drug addicts, people, they transformed and got the Diksha from Srila Prabhupada. Even if you see Arjuna, in Mahabharata war, Kurukshetra, when Arjuna openly was telling that my body is trembling, my Gandhi was falling down, all the limbs are, different parts of the body are quivering. So he is telling, he is openly highlighting his weakness and telling the Krishna that you are the shelter, you are my Guru, guide me. Right? This is the mode we need to go to the Guru. Don't think that, okay, I know everything, I don't need to learn anything. So you go to the Guru with a submissive mood. Like tadvidi pranipatena pranipasnena sevaya upadekshantite jnanam jnanina tattvadarshana. So you go to the Guru with the way Arjuna was asking Krishna. What Arjuna was telling, openly telling, he is not hiding. Though he is a great warrior, but in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, his position was like, he was openly telling, this is my position, you guide me. This is the mood we need to go to the approach Guru. So then when we take the instructions, then we will be able to progress. So these are all the way things. When the Guru relation, the disciple, these are the aspects very much important. And another story also we can see from this is a, I just don't remember what is it. There's a story, Prabhupada was always telling this story, Satya Kama Jabal. He was Jabal, he's the son of a prostitute. So he approached a Gautama Muni for taking the shelter. And Gautama Muni was asking this Satya Kama Jabal, who is your father and mother? Then he went to his mother. Father is not there. So he asked, mother, who is my father? Guru is asking, he wanted to know about father and mother details. But this Jabal she is a prostitute. So then she said, okay, I don't know who is your father. So that is not a very good thing, right? So then Satyakama Jabal, he went to Gautama Muni again, and he told that, I know, my mother told, we don't know who is my father. Then Gautama Muni clearly told, okay, now you become a Brahmana. Because what Guru liked is sincerity and honesty. He was very open, he is not hiding anything, and he told that he don't know any father. So then he accepted him as okay, now from today onwards you are a pure Brahmana, and he took the shelter of Gautama Muni. So this is all the various pastimes where we can understand how Guru is very merciful and how we should behave with the Guru, because by seeing the Guru's responsibility he is taking on us, how we should behave, how we should approach Guru. These are all the various aspects. And one more thing, how the relationship between the Guru and disciple should be there, right? So in the material scenario, in the material world, what will happen? Suppose if you are working in a company, your boss is there. You may think that after a few years, after getting some experience, you may aspire to go beyond your boss. You want to become boss to your boss, current boss, right? That kind of aspirations you will have in the material world, and sometimes it happens. By performing something, doing some extraordinary work, you will get higher promotion, and you can become a boss to your boss. So that is our material tendency in our material world. But in spiritual world, Guru is always superior. Right? See, there is a huge difference between Guru and Shishya in terms of knowledge, in terms of everything, spiritual progress. Guru is on the top, and Shishya is just, we are approaching Guru like a fool. We don't know anything. That's why we are approaching. So we are at the very low level in front of Guru. But when you progress under the Guru's shelter, when you are progressing, what will happen? You start progressing in your spiritual path. So don't assume that, okay, Guru's position is stagnant and you will at one point of time you will supersede Guru. That will not happen. You have to understand that Guru is also helping many fallen conditioned souls to continue coming to the path of bhakti. So he is also progressing in the path of bhakti. So what will happen? So when you are growing in the path of bhakti, Guru is also progressing. He is becoming taller and taller, like he is progressing in the path of bhakti. So always Guru is a superior and you are the disciple, and you are like a servant to the Guru. And you should always feel happy by listening glories of Guru. The way Guru is progressing, by seeing his progress, you should feel happy, you should feel satisfied. And suppose if you should not think that, okay, I did most of the services to Guru, because of my service, Guru is progressing. That kind of attitude is not at all acceptable in this parampara, Guru Shishya parampara. So the final is we need to fully surrender to Guru and take the shelter of Guru. So that way we will be able to progress. So there are various points mentioned, but the path which, in summary, to chant the mantra the Ashtakshari mantra, Dwadasha for 12 syllable mantra. In olden days, it was like a Upanayana Samskara was given, but the Pancharatra Vidhi is giving the Diksha process, through which by taking the Diksha, by approaching bona fide Guru, though we are not qualified, we can take the shelter of Guru, and with Guru's mercy, we will be able to progress. Another process in the Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made very simple. By the Bhakti, chanting the holy name and listening the Krishna Katha, you can also progress in the Bhakti. But we are not very there to only rely on this chanting and holy name and Katha. That's why we are relying on the Bhakti Diksha Margam also. Taking the shelter of Guru, and then from there combining both Bhakti Marga and chanting the holy name and Diksha, we can progress in the path of Bhakti. So in summary, this is what I would like to highlight from this verse. There are so many points, but I think we can stop here. Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
Is there an injunction in the scriptures that the Pranava mantra should be recited only one is externally viewed as well? For example, take bath, wear fresh clothes, sit in a clean place, etc. Is there an injunction?
See, Prabhu, the main thing as per in the main injunction is you are not, see, like there are 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. As per the Vedic injunctions, only after Upanayana Samskar, you are eligible to take, recite this mantra, which means when you do Upanayana Samskar, you will get all the Gayatri mantra, everything, right? So when you are doing this, you need to follow the particular prescribed injunctions. And you cannot, like, we do chanting the Hare Krishna mantra without much any restrictions, right? But when you are doing the Upanayana Samskara, your injunctions, you have to follow proper process. You have to take bath, everything, to go before doing Gayatri mantra, all those things required. So that is the process. It's not explicitly mentioned, but when you did to go with the Upanayana Samskara and all that different Samskaras, you have to follow certain injunctions. So that's okay. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhatta Wrinda ki jai.